is as life is, and I didn't get it. I didn't get back into the swing of things. I think we're gonna go with the Rock Cruiser Type B. It's kind of a fun one. It has no airlocks that lead to the exterior of the ship. So hello again. It's been a little while since I've released a video, but I actually made 2 videos that were going to be, my kind of making videos again, re-intro videos or whatever. And I forgot to switch the audio from my built-in microphone in my computer to the microphone that I use to record. So I recorded both those videos before I edited the first one even, and found that they were utterly unusable. So that was too bad. Anyway, the Siobhan ship, all black with the red highlights, and we have 4 Rockman crew members. The Rockmen of Varakos 4 are rarely seen and are known for their fortitude. They are immune to fire. Their movement speed is halved, and their max health is increased to 150. So they're pretty tough. Let's jump into this run. The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next, but get to the exit before the pursuing Rebel fleet can catch up. So, it's a pretty background. The planet, and then, I guess a star, maybe a comet. It has that kind of trail behind it, but I'm no astrophysicist, so I don't know what might create something emitting that much light with a trail behind it. So what's our deal? We got a crew of rockmen carrying vital data for the Federation. We also have a piercing laser, a heavy Pierce 1. Heavy lasers can wreak more havoc than their smaller burst laser counterparts. This modified version pierces 1 shield, which I think this is this weapon is unique to this Rockman ship. So it's pretty nice. We can pierce one shield with this. It's been a pretty long time since I played FTL, except for my kind of warm-up video last time. I wasn't really playing it in the normal way that I do. I was just kind of speeding through it to get warmed up and mainly just chatting. And then we also have a fire bomb, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, and then we have the rock plating because we're a rockman ship, which is superior hull armor provides a 15% chance to negate incoming hull damage. Hit systems will still be damaged. So, as I've said before, I kind of repetitive roguelikes like this can get a little stale for me if I don't keep them fresh with, adding another layer. So I like to do a little bit of role-playing premise work. So let's see what we could do here. I think if I remember the lore, the deep lore correctly of FTL, the Rockmen are pretty kind of isolationist and xenophobic. So it could be that maybe we are sort of representatives of a Rockman government basically a non-interventionist agreement with the Federation, and have a sector of space all to ourselves, sort of protected Rockman land, basically, to govern as we see fit. I think that kind of makes sense. So we have Captain Kirby. We have TAC on shields. We have Aki on the engines, engineer Aki. And then Mara, the gunnery sergeant, or, whatever. And we can jump into it. I've got a cup of coffee here, and let's go ahead and jump along. We got a distress beacon. That's a dead end. On a dead end, it goes back up there. So if we go bing, 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 and then fly up to the right, that should be good. You recognize the ship as a well-known slave trader. He hails you and offers you laborers for cheap. We could buy a slave and free them to join your crew, but we actually can't because we don't have the scrap that the slavers are charging. We could attack the slaver scum or ignore them and continue on our way. And, let's see, what's our motivation here? I think let's say, we're Rockmen. We're kind of we have that fortitude and that strength that Rockmen have, and I like the idea that we got these rebel plans from some kind of bold, just frontline attack on a rebel ship that was carrying the plans. I don't know if you've seen like Rogue One, Star Wars story, the Rogue One, but I'm thinking of that moment where the Hammerhead cruiser, or whatever it's called, plows into the Star Destroyer and sends it crashing into the shield generator. And I like the idea that our ship, with our hull plating, our specialized hull plating, we just basically smashed through the hull of this rebel ship and made off with the plans. As the ship was on fire, and although warning lights and stuff were going off, our Rockmen, immune to fire, were able to board the ship, steal the plans, and get back aboard our ship. And now we're on the run from the rebels. And I think that we are going to carry that mentality forward. We just plow through things in our way. We are not conflict averse, right? And why would we ever miss an opportunity to get one over on a Mantis ship anyways, So let's attack the slaver scum. Scum they are indeed. So we could, I think we're just gonna have our Pierce weapon go for the weapon systems, because we can cut through that layer of the shield, and we'll just keep that suppressed. We surrender. Take one of our slaves as tribute. If you destroy us, they'll all die anyway. We can accept their offer and get Martin as a crew member, or surrender is not an option. And I don't know if we wanna, if Captain Kirby is willing to accept a soft human aboard the ship, but let's say that Engineer Aki, is kind of the advocates for saving Martin, and Engineer Aki worked with the Federation for years, was an engineer on Federation ships, grew to have a good relationship with other species. So because we get a bonus for that. We get +1 system level, which can show us the enemy's interior, give us a little more, reconnaissance information. Now we jump to the distress beacon. You have encountered a refugee ship drifting in space. It looks as if it was fleeing the rebel advance and ran out of fuel. Its distress beacon is active, but you're not sure anyone is on board. We'll go ahead and hail them. As you hail the refugee ship, a slug ship jumps into the system. It was hunting the refugee ship for sport, and now they've found you instead. Okay, let's go ahead and just load up our Pierce cannon at the guns. We just gotta get those guns down. Oh, look at that! A fire broke out in the guns. That's pretty nice. We'll just keep laying into the guns. Oh, actually, we're gonna follow the crew members, because if we can kill them without destroying the ship, yeah, that's pretty awesome. We killed the slugs on board, so the slug ship, now empty of life forms, provides easy salvage. Gives us a missile, a drone part, and 22 scrap. Our first drone part. We'll contact the refugee ship. The refugee ship claims the slugs have been hounding them since they left their homeworld. As a gesture of goodwill, and seeing how effectively you dispatched the enemy ship, they offer up what supplies they can spare. 3 fuel, a drone part, and 10 scrap. So, that's in total, is that 3 fuel, a missile, a drone part, and I can't remember how much scrap we got from before, but another 10. We got a pretty good haul here. And now, we'll hit this beacon, and then back to this one before we start heading off to the right side of the sector. Or not the sector, system. Is that what they're called? The little dots, the little waypoints are sectors, I believe. Okay, you receive a hail from a station orbiting a nearby planet. Captain, we are Federation Terraforming Team C12 and are in need of assistance. Do you have some time? Yeah, we offer our assistance. I think, I kind of like the idea that Aki is our Federation go-between here, and maybe Martin is ex-Federation as well, or was Federation, and his ship was destroyed. He was the sole survivor, and then was taken as a slave by the Mantis that destroyed his ship. Thank you. We need to scan this planet for life before we can begin terraforming, but our sensors can't get the necessary power to scan through this atmosphere. We've got a schedule to keep. Any chance you can help? Well, we don't have any particularly powerful sensors, but we'll attempt it anyways. But unfortunately we can't help, so we apologize and continue on our way. And back this way. Just skirting the edge of the rebel fleet. A Federation encrypted signal is being broadcast from a nearby planet. I think between Martin and Aki, we're able to convince Captain Kirby to send an away party to investigate, because the Federation could help us. You find a secret Federation outpost, but it appears the rebels have found it before you. The place is empty, and faint bloodstains can be seen in the living quarters. You find the encrypted signal emitter and shut it off before leaving. That's rough. Okay, we'll go up here. Okay, so, you come across an asteroid mining colony. They message you immediately saying, "Greetings. Our supplies of mining explosives have run out ever since the rebels blockaded the system. Do you have any extra explosives?" So, we could give them 5, or we could give them 15. We have this firebomb. Let's give them 15. That's fun. Wow, this will help our efforts considerably. scrounge up to offer you. They deliver some scrap and have their team try to repair part of your hull. So we got 40 scrap and 1 hull point repaired, which, it's better than not being repaired, I guess. We got a bunch of, oh no, okay, these are called sectors, and then the beacons are the little beacons. Let's just continue straight across because we can kill a bunch of time in all of these little beacons. Oh, there's a sun here. You arrive at the beacon to find yourself dangerously close to a star. An automated rebel ship, impervious to the heat, moves in to engage. Alright, we don't have doors, so that's not going to do anything. Okay. Yeah, we'll just try to take out their weapons as quick as possible. Good. And then hope that the solar flare doesn't cause too much damage. Martin can go help Aki repair the engines. Oh, and a miss. Go put out that fire real quick. Okay. You two can heal up, and I shouldn't have taken our captain out because we need him there to charge up the FTL drive. We'll get away from that sun before it causes us any more pain. A rebel ship moves in to engage. We attempt to open communications, but it's run by an AI. Uh-oh, it's powering up its FTL drive. So we gotta target its engines. This could be a rough, okay, there we go, we got the engines. Let's take out the guns next. Okay, let's go put out that fire. I hope that you had a good, holiday season, if you celebrate any holidays. Even if you don't, that the new year was good and fun and peaceful, or whatever you needed it to be. I know that it can be a hard time for some people. I can empathize with that. I have I don't want to get into anything, but if you have family issues, or whatever that make this time a little bit harder than it is maybe made out to be in popular media or whatever, I can feel that. I get you, and I hope you got through it all right. 9 fuel for 2 missiles. Yeah, that's a great deal. We'll take that. Distress beacon. Let's go there. It appears the distress beacon is coming from the surface of a nearby moon. Your sensors are picking up a single life form. We can go investigate. You find a man living alone in a cave. From the appearance of his wrecked ship, it seems he's been here for many years. He looks healthy, but his mental state is questionable. Yeah, we have a little a choice here. Do we bring him back to our ship in hopes of finding some help, or leave him here? I don't know. What do you think? Save him or leave him? What would our crew do? We have Martin aboard, who I think is probably a pretty compassionate person after his experience on the slaver ship. He doesn't want to leave a guy here, so bring him back. Oh no. Being back in space terrifies him. He goes mad and nearly blows a hole in the side of your ship with a makeshift explosive. was alright. I've been watching, well, have watched, the season is over now. I watched the Book of Boba Fett, which is a spin-off of the very popular Star Wars show, The Mandalorian. I'll be honest, I did not like it. In general, like, I really gave it I was trying to look at the positives. And because, pretty quickly I was like, well, this show isn't quite blowing me away or anything. Do we go to an uncharted nebula or through rebel-controlled space? We're a crew of, we're a rockman ship. We're just gonna plow through the rebels, right? The show wasn't meeting my expectations pretty early on. The sector was hit hard by the rebellion. The many alien settlements and stations located here are now watched over by almost an equal number of rebel bases, heavy-handedly keeping the peace. But I tried to, really give it a fair shake. And this is a pretty funny-looking sector. It's like a grid. Got almost a perfect grid here of just straight across. So I had my downs, but I was like, okay, a lot of times shows can have difficulty. That was more expensive than if I had just upgraded it on my own. Foolish of me. I was like, shows can take a while finding their footing, so I don't want to judge it too quickly. It certainly didn't, suck me in right away or anything, but it's like, I don't know if you've seen it. I guess a spoiler alert is probably warranted here. If you are concerned about Book of Boba Fett spoilers, I'll probably talk about it kind of openly. We'll demand the surrender of this rebel ship's goods. They're trying to escape. So we gotta take out their engines. This is gonna be a bad fight. Okay, there we go. Got those. Got the engines down. I think we just need to focus fire on the engines. We can't let them get the FTL drive powered up, so we'll have to kind of eat the damage of this fight a bit. Oh, that was lucky how that timing worked out. We're gonna try to get their weapon systems. Yeah, there we go. We got a pretty solid thing going here. There we go. So, spoilers for the show. I liked the flashback sequences, showing Boba Fett with the Tuskens. I liked how it fleshed out the Tusken culture. I'm sure there's a variety of ways to depict them, in terms of what kind of cultures there are. It's not like that's the only way that you could depict the Tuskens, but I liked getting a little insight into them. I thought the sort of lizard-induced vision quest thing to build your own gaffy stick was pretty awesome. I liked a lot of that stuff. The train heist was cool. We could get a door system, a teleporter. A teleporter's not a bad idea. We got a bunch of rock crewmen, cloaking. It would be pretty fun to firebomb the enemy ship while we have boarders on it. Let's buy the teleporter. That's a fun idea. Now, of course, we don't have hardly any missiles because I sold them all. But you do. You make do. So let's send you there, make this our new lineup. no, we always have to target the engines. This is gonna be a rough, another rough battle. If that missile, okay. Let's try to get the missiles down. But, that being said about the Tuscan sequences, I thought the modern day sequences were a lot weaker. Modern day, present day, whatever, the not Tuscan stuff, were a lot weaker. It felt like the antagonists were always kind of shifting. It was like, oh, you know, it's going to be the mayor as the antagonist. Then it's like, oh no, it's going to be the Hutts, right? The Hutt twins. And it's like, no, they actually are gone. It's going to be the Pike Syndicate. And then finally, you know, turns out, yes, it is the Pike Syndicate are the primary antagonists. But it took a while to get there. By the time we got to episode 4, it felt like, yeah, episode 4 should have been episode 1. I don't know if this is a good idea. Teleport this guy in there. See what we can, gotta get our rock buddy out of there. He's gonna get killed. Okay, R to return. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oops. I'd forgotten to have my weapons going. 2 fuel, 2 missiles, and 10 scrap. Not bad, not bad. Let's blow them up anyways, though. So it felt like episode 4 was where things really started to, like, I don't know, everything kind of came into focus. The players were all on the board. It was like, yeah, this is, I can see, like, we're in the end game now. Or, well, I mean, honestly, kind of not even in the end game, more like we just finished the setup, you know, by episode 4. But, you know, it was what it was. It was like, fine. The first 4 episodes were kind of slow, but we got there. And then things got really weird because episode 5 and 6 were these, you know, Mandalorian season 2.5. And, okay, good. At least it's not trying to run away. Just go straight for the weapon systems. We should try to upgrade our shield soon. Getting to 2 blocks of shielding is a pretty big improvement. So, we spend episode 5 and 6 almost exclusively focused on the Mandalorian and Grogu. And, you know, we get a little bit of Cad Bane at the end of episode 6. And kind of set up that stuff a bit. But, I don't know, it was just like, it kind of killed the momentum of the Boba Fett storyline. And like, honestly, it's kind of baffling to me. Like, the show is called The Book of Boba Fett, and we get 2 episodes in a row where the titular character shows up for, like, 1.5 minutes of screen time in total, you know? So that was pretty weird. Okay, we're doing a bit of mercenary work here. My usual carrier is days late. I need you to deliver this cargo of drone parts to a small station a few jumps from here. We can't afford to pay another carrier, but they will surely tip you generously. Okay. Great. I uploaded their location to your star map. I'm running out of options, so I have no choice but to trust you'll do what you have agreed to do. We got 5 drone parts that we have to deliver. So we'll hit these, bing bing, and then to the exit. So it really killed the momentum of the plot, in my mind. Okay, do we go for the shields to let the asteroids do their work? Or do we... this is rough. We got a bunch of things kind of working against us. Let's take out the shields, I think. And then hope that the asteroids... Oh, man, they brought down our shields. That's very bad. That's very, very bad. our ship is burning up right now. So let's go see what we can do here. Okay, there we go. Ship's down. Our shields are back up, so that should defend against the asteroids. And now we gotta go put out these fires. Which, because we have a crew of rockmen, is pretty easy, pretty safe and secure. So, that being said, I really liked episodes 5 and 6. Who doesn't love The Mandalorian and Grogu? These are characters that really kind of came on strong in the culture. Everybody seems to love them, so I don't think it was unpleasant to watch them. I really liked, especially episode 6. I loved seeing Luke's training of Grogu. I thought it did a lot of character building for Luke and showed how, it kind of connects the dots a little bit more between how he becomes the kind of bitter, frightened old man who's clinging to the Jedi texts in the Last Jedi. So I liked all that stuff, but for the purposes of a show called The Book of Boba Fett, I felt like it all was pretty ineffective. Do they have? I guess they probably have a drone on their ship doing repairs or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Episode 7 in particular, though, because honestly, even by the time episode 6 was done, I was like, okay, we're gonna take down their drives to delay their FTL. By the time episode 6 was done, I was like, alright, the show hasn't really been doing it for me. These past 2 episodes were cool, but were completely separate from the rest of the show. But this finale could really I'm still in it for the finale, I'm still giving it a shot. And then I gotta say, I thought the finale stunk. It was really, really bad. Let's go through NG controlled space. They're weaklings. We can just plow right through their borders. Also, sorry, I'm just kind of skipping through all the dialogue and text and stuff like that. Yeah, that's an awkward spot for a quest, so we should make a beeline for it if we want to get it done. We gotta go. Oh, holy cannoli. Yeah, we're not doing this quest. That's impossible. Because we'd have to loop all the way down there and then back up the backtrack. Yeah, that's a bad quest location. That's not getting done. So let's pop down to this door. We can do some repairs. Ooh, a flak cannon. I do love myself a flak cannon. I'm buying it. It's a big purchase. We don't have much money, but we're doing it anyways. I'm making some questionable decisions this run, I think. Anyway. So, the finale was not good. Extra drones? Nope, no thanks. We don't have any use for drones. Where to even begin? I think it failed on just about every possible level. I don't want to fight this guy. He's got a super shield. We're gonna get just wrecked. We can't get through that easily. scale of this was completely wonky and made it really unbelievable. And what I mean by that is we are supposed to believe that Boba Fett and his little gang of misfit toys is standing up against the Pike Syndicate, a famously powerful Star Wars criminal organization. And all Boba Fett has is, he has himself, he has Mando. Holy crap, a weapon is just floating in space. Cool. We have a lot of, oh look at that, we could charge up our heavy laser right now. We gotta upgrade our weapon systems a fair bit if we want to get that flank cannon powered up. We'll put those upgrades in. Let's see. Yeah. So let's tally up the forces that Boba Fett has on his side, and we'll start at his best when the people from Freetown show up, right? So I'm supposed to believe that, well, okay, Boba Fett has on his side himself. He has Fennec Shand. He has the Mandalorian. So those three are pretty powerful, right? You know, 3 big bounty hunters. Let's get the shields down with the heavy pierce, and then fire on the guns. Powering up its FTL. It's trying to escape. So those 3 bounty hunters, they have Chrysanthemum, the big Wookiee. They have 2 Gamorrean guards. There's the mods, who don't even get me started on the mods. One of the most embarrassing additions to Star Wars. They did not work at all. They were a really poor creative choice. He has the mods. He has the people of Freetown, and that's it. Right? Am I missing anybody? No, that's everybody. So, well, I guess he has his Rancor too for the, Deus Ex Machina at the end of the episode. We're good on fuel. Just buy 1 fuel, I guess. Why not? Abandoned sector. So, that's his crew. So Freetown looked like maybe, I don't know, was that 10 people that showed up in the thing? Plus the mods, let's generously say another 10. So 20 there. Plus 6. So let's say 26. Sub 30 people in Boba Fett's little gang there. Easily, less than 30. And these 30 people are going to stand up against the Pike Syndicate. I feel like I'm losing my mind. And actually not only the Pike Syndicate. Oh, yikes. Oh, this is a very, very bad fight. We're gonna get our socks rocked. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here immediately. Immediately. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yikes on bikes. Holy cats, man. We gotta charge up our FTL drive and flee for our lives. Sorry, I'm so focused on this now. I'm totally screwed here. FTL, there we go. Let's hope that we don't jump to another hostile sector. So, where was I? Yeah, the Pikes. Because it's not only the Pikes, right? It's the crime families of Mos Espa. Because this action is all taking place in Mos Espa, this big Tatooine city, a huge city, honestly. Like, they do a bunch of wide shots of it, and it's really cool looking. It's in this big crater, and it kind of goes up over the sides of the crater as well, and spreads out in all directions. So it's pretty sick. But the three power brokers in Mos Espa, the three families, which are like three species. You've got the Aqualish, the Trandoshans, and then that other species that I don't know the name of. I think they're new to the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe not. Maybe they've been in the Star Wars universe, and I don't remember them. But anyway, they all team up with the Pike Syndicate to take down Boba Fett. This massive city, massive. Like, imagine if, I don't know pick your like global crime family, right? Like the mafia, or go down here. Like Yakuza, like the triads, whatever you imagine. And now imagine that they teamed up with like all the local power brokers in a city. And they all teamed up because they were going to kick out a group of like 30 troublemakers, right? Like, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense that these people would have a shot at survival. Gonna get you out of there. Go heal up. My boys are getting their socks rocked here. There's a lot of bad boys on this ship. Yikes. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna lose the system, I guess. No stopping it. They're gonna take down our shields. I'm gonna turn off the oxygen, I guess, and at least just, maybe that'll slow them down. Things are not going super well on this run. I do confess it. Now our piloting system's going down. Lots of bad stuff is happening here. So, in my mind, that was all, like, completely unbelievable. The scale here was unbelievable. The fact that they were fighting over this gargantuan city that is presumably incredibly important to the Pike Syndicate's business because they run spice through Tatooine. It was almost laughably absurd, the scale at which the fighting was taking place. So, that made no sense to me, right? Boba Fett's pathetic little group should have been completely overwhelmed just by numbers alone. Like, this isn't, what is it, Seven Samurai, where they all defend the town, and like, the townspeople, learn, get, like, taught how to fight back. That's another weird thing, right? We didn't see any of the citizenry of Mos Espa take interest in this battle. It was honestly a ghost town, right? We don't see people, like, even poking their head out of windows, like looking at what's going on. It was like just a completely dead town. guys, we're pretty screwed here, I think. I made some bad choices early on, perhaps, that have led to this being kind of a dead run. I invested some money in places I shouldn't have invested in, you know. Let's see if I can. We missed the shields again. I'll just try to kind of continue fending off this. Oops, I didn't line up. Oh, yeah, the guns are down. All right, we're dead. So, as my ship slowly falls apart here, the reality of the situation was completely unbelievable to me. There's no way that this was the fight for Mos Espa. There's no way that the Pike Syndicate would let the town slip away this easily. That they're sending, 15 guys and 2 big droids to defend it. Also, those droids, man, those giant droidica-looking things. They were utterly incompetent, and it made me so mad. It was like they couldn't hit anything for their life, which is kind of a Star Wars trope, right? The stormtroopers are always missing and blah blah blah, whatever. But when everybody runs away from them, they're all moving in this big clump down the street, just as one unified mass. Nobody's breaking off into alleyways, splitting up, doing anything. It was the most moronic thing to fight back against these droids. What was that? Another thing that got my goat was when the ambush happens of Boba Fett's forces. We get the Trandoshans pulling out swords, and then those that other species that I don't know the name of, kind of I don't even know what they look like. They're almost pig looking, but they've got faces pulled back in weird ways. But they're pulling out cleavers and stuff too, and going up against the Gamorrean guards. And it's dude, does anybody on this planet own a blaster? I don't know why you're pulling out swords to go kill these Gamorrean guards and Crescent and the big Wookiee, I mean, the Trandoshans, I guess you could make an argument, culturally, and especially with the Wookiee, I don't know, I guess I could see an argument being made there. It's a bit of a stretch, but whatever. But even then, it's when they attack Chrysanthemum, they piled onto him like they're zombies. It was really terrible fight choreography. So that was another thing. Basically, the verisimilitude of the world was just completely shot. None of it made sense. And it wasn't even entertaining, it was all very basic, bland fight sequence stuff. Nothing really interesting was happening. It was just the kind of thing where they're oh, they shot a blaster at me, I jump over here. They shot a blaster, I jump back over there, and just shooting people. Nothing particularly tactically interesting was going on, or visually interesting. Very bland on that front as well. So it's not even one of those things where I could just say, yeah, it was a fun romp and it didn't make sense, but it was fun to watch because it wasn't. I was continually checking the progress bar on the screen to see how close the episode was to being over, because I was genuinely bored by it, which feels really bad to say as a Star Wars super fan. Yeah, I gotta say, this was the first time where the sort of Disneyfication of the Star Wars universe, where they're making a million shows and movies and things, really started to get to me in the sense of if this is the quality of what they're making, I can definitely see myself falling off Star Wars, and I don't think it'll ever get to that point where I don't consume Star Wars stuff, because there are still good, cool creators out there that are doing justice to the property. Dave Filoni, he co-wrote the two Mandalorian-centric episodes this season. I don't know what Jon Favreau was doing this season. The writing fell off a cliff, in my opinion. Really bad writing. Really tropey, uninteresting. There was no payoff to the lines, or I should say the lines that were designed to be a payoff to, like, character building that has already taken place did not serve that purpose. So, like, Ahsoka, when she says to Luke, like, you remind me of your father, or something like that, it's like, that line is I get what it's doing. It's like, yeah, Ahsoka knew Anakin, but what about Luke in that moment? He wasn't channeling Anakin. In that way, it just felt like something that was there as a, hey, we know Ahsoka was with Anakin. Yeah, it's Star Wars, cool. Like, that's a relationship that I would really like to see explored more. Luke and Ahsoka, they have so much to talk about. I'd love to see more of that in the future. Another example of the really bad writing was Cad Bane. Cad Bane was pretty sick in this for the 10 seconds that he was on, but he was really cool. Cad Bane's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. I love him. So he has this thing with Boba Fett where he's like, Boba Fett, again, spoilers, like, in case you, I'm just about to spoil the ending, right? And he has this thing where he duels Boba Fett, and he walks up and, he's like, you tried to go straight, but you've got the blood of your father pumping through your veins, or whatever. Like, what kind of went Scottish there? It's not what he sounds like. But then Boba Fett turns the tables on him, gets him on the ground, and Cad Bane says, I always knew you were a killer. And it's like, yeah, he is. That's not a philosophical victory there. Like, the line is written as though Cad Bane has just like scored a victory over Boba. Because you could have that situation where it's like, you've got a pacifist character, right? Or a character who's never killed anybody, or who has tried to put their violent past behind them. And then you have the sort of villain, the corrupting influence, who, even as they lose, even as the pacifist character kills them, the villain still wins in a way. They score that moral victory of, like, I was right, you are a killer. Your like, pretensions to peace are worth nothing. But it completely falls flat in the actual case of the show, because Boba Fett is a killer. There's been nothing here that indicates to us that he's not a killer. Even, like, yes, take into account the fact that he's kind of, he's going clean, in the sense that he's not, like, going and hiring himself out to the local crime lord anymore. He's trying to exert his authority over Tatooine, and with I guess a more peaceful bent, or a less, like, abusive bent in terms of abusing the local populace. I don't know, like, he's clearly moving in that kind of direction. His motivations, by the way, were kind of unclear to me. It's like, what do you really want here? He says, like, I'm tired of our kind dying for idiots or fools, or whatever he says, and it's like, your kind are bounty hunters, is that what you mean? That's an inherently dangerous job. I don't know what you expect. Bounty hunters are, like, they hire themselves out to the scum of the galaxy. What do you expect? So anyway, we've seen Boba Fett just murder people through the entirety of this show. So Cad Bane's line there, I knew you were a killer, doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, because, yeah, he's a killer. It was never in doubt that Boba was a killer. He was a killer in the past, and he still is. He just kills people that work against against his goals, like he always has, honestly. He kills the pikes aboard the train. I mean, he lets a bunch of them go, right? But during the fighting, he is perfectly happy to kill pikes. He kills the biker gang that he thinks destroyed his Tuscan, found family. He kills a bunch of people during the siege of, the Battle of Mos Espa. Like, it's just one of those lines that is written with the presumption that that it has weight to it, that it has meaning to it, and maybe it can almost conjure the illusion of having meaning because the line itself is endowed innately with that kind of weight. It's like, I knew you were a killer. That's a heavy line to say, but there's nothing backing it up. So, I had a lot of problems with the show, as you can tell. There are like redeeming moments. Well, maybe not redeeming, because redeeming would imply that it was overall worth it, because it was quote unquote redeemed. But there are good moments in the show. As I said, I think before, like I like the Tuscan stuff. I like the train heist, part of the Tuscan stuff. I loved Cad Bane's bits, his quick draw taking down people left and right. It was pretty sick. I liked the kind of injection of comedy in some parts. But what else? What else did I like? I liked the Mando stuff. I liked the Luke and Grogu stuff. I like, I guess the mod parlor. The thing about the mods is that I could see them conceptually working. I see them conceptually being a cool idea. But the way that they were executed was garbage. They are on Tatooine, and they look like they were a bunch of kids with rich parents who were role-playing street toughs, Like, they're like, oh, mommy and daddy are paying for my hover Vespa, but I don't talk about my rich mom and dad, I just like to go out with my friends and hit the streets and steal from people and pretend that I'm hard, when in reality they're soft as anybody and are just working off their parents' dime, because their clothes were about as fancy as anything you would see in the Coruscant upper crust social elite, and their bikes were perfectly preserved, clean, shiny and painted. It's like, this doesn't fit the aesthetic of Tatooine at all. They have no place there. That being said, I could see the mod concept being really cool, where you've got these this back alley surgeon, sort of the trope of the the crime family that has a veterinarian stitch up their people, right? It's like they've got this droid mechanic who's like, listen, I know a little bit about biological anatomy, human anatomy, in this case, because every single mod was human, and so I can kind of do that, but I can't actually fix your broken arm or whatever. The dogs just walked in, so if you hear them panting, that's why. I'll wrap this up. But so the mods was a conceptually cool idea that fell flat. The dogs want to go out, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching. I hope things are going very well for you.